Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Drunken Guardian Gaming Podcast. Today we talk about canceled Nintendo Netflix shows, Prince of Persia HD Remake, and more. Today's community question, we talk about our favorite gaming levels and events. To join the community, follow our Instagram or TikTok to follow along and talk about gaming with all of us. If you want to watch some gaming, follow our Twitch. All links are in the show description. Enjoy the 30th episode. I actually got me some Jamaican rum.
Ooh.
Yeah, funky stuff. I really like it. It's Smith and Cross. Tastes a bit like raisins or kind of pruny. Yeah, it's good. You drinking anything?
Wine.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a wine kind of guy in the evening?
No. It could be any time, really.
Oh, okay.
I'm just putting off beer for a bit.
Oh, yeah. I actually just bought myself a 6-pack of some Blue Moon. I was kind of like craving Blue Moon for a while.
That's a very specific craving.
Yeah, weird, right?
I'm not into wheat beers, personally.
I love wheat beers.
I don't. It's one of those that it's like I have to have it after I've already had the beer that I want.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it'll just like be one to kind of like buffer, and that's it.
That'll be a very strange contrast because I know you like IPAs, so I know you're drinking an IPA and then all of a sudden a wheat beer. It's like two very different things.
I mean, it works.
Yeah. Oh, so we got the show started, and it's a very dry week for news. But there is one final article that I actually want to talk about a little bit more than the usual stuff. Before we get to our main topic. So I read in Game Informer, Ubisoft unfortunately has delayed Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time remake indefinitely to ensure its quality. The game was announced last September with the launch date of January 21st before it was pushed back to March 18th back in December. Now we have no idea when to expect the much anticipated remake of the 2003 classic. What are your thoughts?
Kind of disheartening, but also at the same time, it's like, I mean, as long as they amp the quality and make sure it's fine, then, no need to actually rush them for anything. Because you know how it can be if it is rushed.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, that's fine for me too. It's sad that you have to wait longer to play the game, but this leaves more room for improvement on like graphics and I'm sure other aspects of the game. Like I still look forward to it, so we'll see hopefully when it comes out. Yeah.
Like if anything, it's like definitely going to get rid of some of the bugs that would have been there had it been released when they planned it initially.
Yeah.
So might as well avoid all that. I'm pretty sure they don't want to have to like send out constant patches to try to fix a game that should have been complete.
Funny enough, you say that though. Like there will now and forever be a day one patch for everything. Like,
oh, of course.
Like it doesn't matter how long you delay a game for. There's always going to be a day one patch for whatever reason that they decided to ignore some bugs and fix it later.
Well,
but yeah,
if that's a new norm, I guess. But I don't know.
It is.
It's still going to take a while for me to get used to that.
Sadly, it is a new norm. I don't agree with it.
Because like for online games, it makes sense. If you're playing WoW or like any other subscription-based things,
of course,
or even
that's a balance thing.
Yeah, fucking like League of Legends and World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
That they constantly need patches because the game is constantly expanding. It's not going to be a standalone game with like DLC coming out here and there for it to be just like, oh, one thing or whatever. Like, how to put it? Okay, in Dead Rising, to call back on that, there weren't patches for it. The game is jank in of itself, but it's understood that it's jank.
Yeah.
Had there been a day one patch for that, I'm pretty sure they would have like fixed a lot of things that were, I guess, buggy. But I don't know. It's a cop out.
Yeah, and I get also as the generations advance more and more, like games get freaking complicated to make. So there's never a point where a game would be perfect and bug free. There's always something that needs to be fixed. So I get that, but I mean, but at least with Dead Rising, like when it came out, it was still pretty much playable. Yeah.
There weren't any like game breaking bugs. Any soft locks or hard locks that happened, 9 out of 10 times it was the player's fault. genuinely
Right.
speaking. Because remember how like it's on the timer. If you save when you don't have enough time, then you're permanently stuck in that loop and you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
So that's a soft lock on your own volition. That's not a bug or anything.
A lot of people don't agree with that whole time thing, like kind of like Dead Rising or Majora's Mask. But
why?
I don't know. Some people, I mean, I don't mind it, honestly. You know, it's a style of gameplay that's not done that often. So when it is done, like, it's interesting to go through. But some people get pissed off. Some people don't like the time restraint, and, you know, they don't get to take their time with it. I get it.
You just play it again and try to do what you didn't do.
Yeah, exactly. I think what's the turn off for some of them is just a repetition, like just doing like, for example, fighting the same bosses over and over again. Like, fuck, I just got this guy. Like, I kind of felt like that a little bit with Dead Rising, but I still enjoyed the game a lot because there was still a lot of other side things to do and so many different endings and just so many creative, like, crafting weapons and shit like that. So it's just like, it was entertaining the whole time.
They took out the time thing in 3 though, right?
I think so.
Because I played 3, but I don't remember ever feeling like, oops. I don't think I ever felt like pressured to complete something.
Yeah. It may have been 3. I don't remember. So moving on to the next article, another short little tidbit is another Game Informer article, actually. They talk about old rumors about a Legend of Zelda TV show, possibly for Netflix. This was rumors back in 2015. And I remember this, and Nintendo never commented on it. They never commented on the rumors, and the whole story kind of just disappeared. So now this rumor was apparently true, and Nintendo scrapped the idea after rumors were leaked online. So part of the article reads, according to comedian Adam Conover of College Humor fame, the Zelda show was very real, and the only reason it got canned, along with other potential Nintendo adaptations, was because someone at Netflix leaked it. So I went and asked him what happened, and he said, oh, someone at Netflix leaked the Legend of Zelda thing. They weren't supposed to talk about it. Nintendo freaked out because it was the first time they had done any IP in years for like any project. They had no television, no adaptations of any kind for years and years. But when Netflix leaked it, they freaked out and pulled the plug on everything. They pulled the plug on the entire program to adapt these things. That's the end quote. I am so fucking disappointed.
I'm hurt.
And so, yeah. Oh, we could have had a live action Zelda, dude.
Hopefully the acting would have been as bad as like the CDI games. I would love that.
Well, I wouldn't want the bad acting. Like, you ever seen that
for the sake of novelty, you know?
No. Well, maybe like a little gag episode or something. They could do something. I could get that. Yeah. But do you remember an old what you call it, April's Fool's video that IGN released years ago?
Nope.
So they released a trailer, quote unquote, for the Legend of Zelda movie, and it looked so legit. It had like real actors, it had real like CGI stuff, it had some legit things going on in it, and then at the end of the trailer, you notice that the movie is coming out April 1st.
Oh.
So it was an April Fool's joke, but it was so well done, and it got so many people hyped of like the potential of a Zelda movie or a Zelda TV show,
or just Zelda live action in general, even if it's like a fucking miniseries online.
God, oh man, so disappointed, man. Whoever did that fucking leak and just, I mean, I get also Nintendo also, I guess, is being a little too paranoid over it, but I know they're known for keeping their franchises like very close to the chest, very protective,
very
so
close to the chest. Dude, that's all they've been doing since like they fucking started.
Yeah, especially after Super Mario Brothers, you know, they don't ever want that to happen again.
The movie or the show?
The movie. Yeah,
right.
I can't imagine what it would be like, because the issue with a movie or a TV show, and this is something that you'll notice in the trailer, is that Link doesn't talk. And how does that translate to a TV or a movie when your main character doesn't talk? Can't talk, but doesn't talk. Yeah, as a silent protagonist.
Maybe they could have done it like a silent film.
Silent for just the one character?
Yeah.
How does that work though? Like,
Slapstick, motherfucker.
well, Zelda's not going to be a
No, I know.
slapstick comedy.
I know.
This isn't like Groucho Marx or some.
I mean, it could have worked because there was a TV series, wasn't there, where Link did talk?
He did, and he was very annoying.
In the CDI, he was also very annoying.
Yeah, yeah. He's like this, like surfer, cool '90s, like type of edgy attitude, type of character. I couldn't stand it.
His hair bothered me in the, what was it, Wand of Gamelon? Faces of Evil? Faces of Evil. That was it. And his voice was like, yeah, first you gotta give me a kiss. It's like, what? No?
Yeah, that was another thing about his character too. He was like this super horny teenager, just always wanting some from Zelda.
I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone at the time that played Zelda was a super horny teenager that wanted from Zelda.
Yeah, but that wasn't Link though. It just didn't fit at all. They were just trying to cash in on that popularity.
Well, I mean, did they show who like the casting was for a Netflix one?
No. I think it was in very early development and stuff because they even talked about in the article how they were working on another TV show. I can't remember what the franchise was, but they were working on another Nintendo TV show and they were doing it as a claymation. And that got scrapped as well. Like Nintendo literally freaked out and canceled all projects. So including that claymation project for whatever show they were working on. And I was just, oh man, like, I don't know what Nintendo's thinking. Like they know they were hyped up about it. I understand being cautious, but you kind of you got to take a chance. You got to branch out a bit. I mean, they already branched out when they actually released a mobile game for Nintendo, which was that Mario. It was a Mario Kart and there was something else. Super Mario World. Yeah, the Super Mario Run. So, they're branching out a bit, but they need to take a couple more chances.
Well, I wouldn't say that's branching out. That's kind of them just like falling into microtransaction territory.
Oh, I get that. I know those were completely just cash grabs for microtransactions, but mobile games aren't exactly the popular trend. They're just convenient. You know what I mean? So there's only one handful of games that people actually hardcore play.
On the phone? Like
on the phone, yeah. No, on the phone. Like, I mean, Fortnite is one thing. Oh, I get that it's multi-platform, but I'm talking about like strictly phone games, like a Raid Shadow something.
A Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, Shadow Legends.
Speaking of, shout out to our sponsor. Imagine.
Who's our sponsor?
I'm kidding.
I would love that.
Raid Shadow Legends. So before we continue,
yeah,
I just looked up what the canceled claymation was. It was going to be Star Fox.
Star Fox, yes,
dude.
Like imagine that. That would have been great. I would have even taken CGI, and I still would have been great with that.
As long as it wasn't Star Fox Zero, but
yeah.
That's really cool. Well,
like I would have cool. There's so many good franchises that'll make good cartoons. Like Star Fox would be one, Kirby would be another. Imagine a Smash Brothers like TV show.
That'd be a lot of licensing issues.
I was just gonna say that it would be licensing hell, but imagine the potential on something like that.
That would be really cool. Unless it's like Smash 64. It's going to be hell for licensing.
Yeah. So maybe stick mostly with the Nintendo characters. It'll be easy for them to license off.
Super Smash Bros. Origins.
Yeah.
The Birth of Master Hand.
The Birth of Master Hand. What could have been? Out in some other reality, that Nintendo show is actually already out. Imagine.
Right. That. And the alternate universe us is enjoying the show. But
yeah.
Oh well.
Yep. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe in the future.
Let's just put this out.
If enough people talk about it still, like, this is just recent news that was released that this show actually existed. So if enough steam, gets rolling for this type of news, maybe Nintendo will be like, okay, well, it's popular, so maybe we should give it a shot, and maybe they'll go forward with it. So we'll see.
Let's just tweet this podcast at them.
Oh, word. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Just put timestamps and be like, here, listen to this. We know. The audience knows.
So the last article we've got today, it's again a very short week, but this one has a little bit of a discussion that I want to have with you.
Ooh, fun.
So GameBite has an article that I found interesting. Now, GameBite itself, to me, is like a tabloid. It's like the tabloid of gaming industry. So take this news with a grain of salt because they're pretty much saying it's rumor anyway. But the article talks about how future PS5 games may adjust difficulty for you if you're having a hard time with the boss.
Ew.
This is the part of the exactly. This is the part of the article. I'll read part of the article here. The AI will recognize when a player is struggling, will automatically adjust the difficulty depending on how well the player is doing. According to Segment Next, the patent AI will learn to increase or decrease the level of difficulty in beating a video game opponent in-game. The AI will essentially analyze player data to identify successful and or unsuccessful methods during certain encounters and will adjust accordingly. Now, this is already a known common practice to an extent. This type of system. So the article mentions this part as well. 2005's Resident Evil 4 features a dynamic difficulty that would alter the challenge depending on how the player is performing. For example, if a player in Resident Evil 4 rarely misses the shot and blitzes through enemies, the game will place more enemies in the world, make them more aggressive, and able to deal more damage. However, if a player misses loads of shots and takes a lot of damage, the game will place fewer enemies in game, they will miss more shots, and deal less damage to the player. At this time, we're not sure how this Sony patent will be implemented, but seeing as it's only a recent thing, it's unlikely that we'll see it utilized anytime soon, if ever. So that's the end of that part. What are your thoughts on all that?
I don't like it. I don't
either. Now, why don't you like it though?
Because I enjoy challenge in of itself. Now, there's a very big difference in between having the game kind of just like manually decrease the difficulty for you, and then kind of doing what some other games have done, like Devil May Cry, for example. When you die enough times, when the boss absolutely fucking wipes the floor with you, it tells you easy mode unlocked. Is it embarrassing? It is, but it still gives you the option to go for it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's either you stay in the same difficulty that you're in, or you let the game just, take it down a few notches for you. So if you decide to do that, that's on you, but there's still player choice within it. It's not like mandatory.
I agree.
Because if I'm going to smack my head against this fucking wall, I'm expecting it to break at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I would think if they implemented this type of system, like, completely ignoring your opinion, if they implemented it, I would hope you can at least adjust that, like go into the actual PlayStation system and turn that feature off. Know what I mean?
That I would be okay with. That's the only reason that I would ever be okay with this.
Yeah, because that's not. There are a lot of people out there who like the challenge. From software games aside, there are other harder games out there or harder bosses out there. It doesn't even have to be the whole game, and people appreciate the challenge and the achievement when you actually get through it. I would think maybe it's more for kids, I guess.
I don't know, because a lot of the games that are coming out aren't exactly tailored for kids. That's the thing. I mean, granted, you're still going to have your fucking, 10-year-olds playing Call of Duty and whatnot. But if it was marketed for kids, then why not just have that feature in games that are marketed for kids?
And again, with your example, is like, I don't know what's wrong with the system we already have, which is if a game have the game itself give you the options to choose an easier mode, not the system. Because we already have that now. I remember even like there are even some games that make fun of that stuff. Like I think it was Metal Gear 4 or 5, where you die a lot and it gives you an option for an easy mode.
Oh, the chicken head.
And yes, so if you opt in for the easy mode, they give you a chicken hat that you wear throughout the game to like identify the fact that you're on easy mode.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious, but it's an option that, you know, if you want to just go through it easily or easier, then pick it. It's not that serious. But why affect other people's gameplay?
Because everyone's too fucking sensitive now when it comes to that shit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the games, like, even if they are masterpieces, and I'm throwing like massive fucking quotes in that, every game is still linear as shit.
What
Like,
do you mean?
Okay, Last of Us 1. It's a great game. I'm pretty sure that we could both agree on that, right?
Yeah.
But it's basically on rails. No matter how you play it, no matter how open you go in the world, it's still on rails.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's still one path that you need to follow. There's no straying from it. Everything is basically bottlenecking you to the very end and the entire time. So with it being linear, every result's going to be the same regardless. So in that, like, not having a whole like easy difficulty or whatever the case, you're still going to find a way to get around it, no matter how stuck you are. So there's no need to change any difficulty in that. So with it being linear, it's still easy. There's no way to, I don't know, that you just can't fuck with that.
Well, I mean,
one thing I can say though, there are some games that I have played on PC that they give you the option to change difficulty in the middle of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you literally just press start, you go to the options, and then difficulty you could still change, like whether you go higher or lower.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, one game that does that even now is Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I like that option too, and it doesn't really affect the progress that you've been making so far. Like, you just maybe you can't just get past this one small spot, and then you can just change it to easy real quick, and then you kind of move on from that.
Yeah.
There's another game that comes to mind that kind of does the same thing. This is something that I would like more RPGs to do. One of my favorite RPGs of all time is The World Ends With You. Have you ever played that?
Of course I have.
Oh yeah, good.
So we discussed this, sir.
Oh, we have, yeah. We talked about the anime and all that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
So the game has a slider, and the slider, the higher you bring it up, the more difficult the enemies are, and you benefit from that by gaining better loot, more experience, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could slide it down to the easy mode all the way down
to have no encounters.
To pretty much have no encounters or minimal experience, minimal drops, but maybe you just want to get through the story, or maybe you just wanted to get through this boss that's just giving you a hard time, and then you can slide it right back up and down. So like RPGs themselves, you don't see any other RPGs do that. I would love for that to happen. So yeah, those are some good examples of how you can implement difficulties in games without having a system decide it for you.
Oh, dude, honestly, like, the beginning of this conversation had me like burning up inside, because I hate like having shit become like a lot easier. But when you mention that, I'm like, oh wow, The World Ends With You. That's it made me feel warm inside. But yeah, no, like that slider was really, really good, because like the mechanic for getting into fights, you had to press the pin in the corner, and then it revealed all the enemies around you. Right. But while you were in that, you were still in a vulnerable state where like the enemies could some enemies could immediately like drag themselves towards you.
Yeah.
So those were like forced encounters. So again, like having that slider all the way at the bottom, none of those encounters happened. So everything was optional if you wanted to get into a fight.
Right. Yeah. I love that game. Just the whole system was great. And we'll get into that maybe some other day, but there's
just a whole episode dedicated to that.
Yeah. Oh man, we should do that. Actually, we should do like episodes dedicated to specific games. We could just rant all day about it.
And the first one is going to be The World Ends With You.
Hell yes. Done.
That's it. That's the first one. Have you played the Switch port?
I have it. I haven't gotten that far. I just got past like little Hachiko statue, like just pretty much right in the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, I barely got to touch it. I'm actually not liking it as much. It's a lot more fun on the DS.
Because of the dual screen thing, right?
Yeah, because
I was going to ask you right now, like, seeing how you played it, how does it play? Well, know what? No, I'm going to say that for the actual episode.
Yeah, we'll go into more in depth some other time. But yeah, that's
a whole 2-hour discussion on that shit.
You know what? I tell you what, I will play through the game all over again, because I definitely will need a refresher on the story. And like once I beat it or something, then we can get into it.
So you're gonna play on the Switch? I'll play on DS.
Hell yeah, do it.
I'm with it.
All right. So yeah, so that story. I'm not liking it so much. I hope it's a rumor. I hope they don't really implement it, and if they do, sure, that's fine for those people who want that kind of stuff. I'm not like shaming them or anything like that,
I
because
am.
everybody plays differently. Everybody wants to experience things differently. I get that.
So then just put it on easy.
Well,
That's
so
all you gotta do.
that's the thing. So, well, some games don't even like go on easy mode. I don't understand why, but for example, though, one franchise that I don't think should deserve this type of treatment is From Software stuff like Dark Souls. Like, if you're gonna play this game, you already know what to expect.
Mhm.
There was a guy on TikTok that was actually, I was listening to his video, and he argued about the fact that the only thing the Dark Souls franchise has going for it why it's well known is because it's hard, and that shouldn't be something to be proud of. And in my head, I'm just like, yes, it is, because that's how you identify this game. And if anything, it's created a new genre.
The literal Souls-like genre.
Yeah. So, like, if you can make your own genre, that's a big deal.
That means that you've already revolutionized what the fuck you want to do.
Yes, because there are actually people out there who enjoy this type of game.
Yeah.
If you don't, then don't play it. There's hundreds of other games out there for you.
Because what is it? Like, I'm pretty sure that the original procedurally generated game was Rogue. Have you ever played it?
No.
Okay, but you know how that whole title roguelike comes out where everything is like randomized?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I could be wrong on the name, but it was this really shitty kind of like text document game. It's not like you have to read it or whatever, but different symbols that are on your like number pad, they represented different things, and you had like a key for it. And like I think that you were the @ sign, and then like the walls were like the pound symbol, and then like ampersands were certain things, exclamation marks were other things and whatnot.
Okay.
But to kind of like summarize that whole thing, with that being the first game of the whole genre of that's where roguelikes come from. So with Demon's Souls, that's where the Souls-like series come from. That's why you have games that like Salt and Sanctuary. The same people that made Dishwasher made that one. It's a 2D Dark Souls. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So Souls-like.
And there are lots of other games that are just as hard too, that are not from Software. Wow, I can't even think of anything. I mean, well, actually, for example, even before Dark Souls even got popular, Ninja Gaiden was tough as hell. But nobody knocked that. Like, people were actually enjoying the difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand what the problem is, that you have to diminish the value of a game like this because you can't handle it.
Like I said, everyone's too sensitive about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's so used to having their fucking hands held with very, very linear games. Not to say that like games from PS1, PS2 weren't linear, but it was just a lot of mechanics that made them very unique. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because Tenchu, you could even say that game was pretty linear, because you did have your set goal and you did have like a very set path on how to do something, but you also had all these other fucking tools to try to help you out to make it a more unique experience, if anything.
Yeah, you be more creative with how you go about your objective.
Yeah. But apparently being different is wrong now. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, so that's the rant for this week. It seems like we do one every week.
Oh God, I don't know. It's just like whenever it comes to simplifying things, it really gets under my skin. Like, genuinely.
One of my biggest complaints about Destiny 2 right now, or actually since Destiny 2 has been released, period, is how easy it is to obtain some of the most powerfulest weapons in the game, which are exotic weapons. And so exotic weapons in D1 used to be incredibly hard to get. You know, for example, Gallahorn, there was practically a 1% chance drop in order for you to get it. And it only dropped from, I believe it was 2 or 3 specific type of events. So you could either do strikes, you could either do a nightfall, and you could do the raid, and it might drop. and you'd have to be a high level for that stuff, for like the raid and the nightfalls. So it was hard to get some of the weapons. And then when D2 came out, Bungie had already announced, they wanted to make it more accessible. They wanted to make it more easier for people to enjoy the game more. So the leveling up system was too easy to get up max level. Gaining all these different exotics is way too easy because either the quests are handed to you and they're easy to get through, or they drop automatically with a fairly high percent chance.
Oh, that's not fun.
So
why even have them as exotics anymore?
That's the thing. Like the exotics are exotics because they're unique properties. They have unique how do you say, perks, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But the fact is that they don't mean anything to you anymore. Like if there's an exotic that I'm chasing and I get it, everyone else already has it. Why is it so special when everyone else already has it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as fun anymore when I gain, a new exotic, and it's just not. I don't know. It's something that needs to be fixed because
it was more of a kind of like trophy back then.
Yeah, it was
that you had to
bragging
earn.
rights.
It's just
bragging rights.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother thing. Like, sure, bragging rights are kind of like annoying, if anything. Like if you don't enjoy that type of shit, but it also displays your skill as a player.
Exactly. And your dedication to it, how much time you put into it.
Of course. Because before, Base Diva, oh god, I fucking love that. No one ever played it because, well, at least in the matches that I played, no one played her because like they just didn't fucking want to. They wanted like the easier shit. And I'm like, okay, cool, you do that. I'll have fun with this. But then once it became like open public, again, like with the whole exotic drops being easily accessible, with everyone being able to fucking play her in the sense of just like, oh, I'll push these 2 buttons and I'm unbeatable. It takes the fun away for me personally. I don't know. I don't want to like monopolize a character, but at the same time, like I would prefer if people took the time to actually learn how to play somebody or learn how to get better at a game to earn something.
Yeah. It's one thing to nerf maybe there's too much DPS for a character compared to like others or something like that. I kind of get that because with online games, it's always that balance of like, this is too powerful. Maybe we should nerf this, but then we have to buff that, and then we have to fix this and fix that. And I get that part, but like when you change mechanics on things and or make the entire game easy, it's a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, more renting. Okay,
right.
So
there's actually something that I want to run by you.
What?
So you're aware that the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is coming out?
Yes.
With like all 3 games and whatnot?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Legendary Cache?
What is that?
Okay. So for 150, right?
150?
Yes. You get a canvas print, morality spinners, like pins, well, a pin, a 1-to-1 scale replica helmet of the N7 helmet, and a metal case, along with the N7 acceptance letter. Right?
like you just got accepted to Hogwarts,
basically. But the metal case is just the metal case. There is no game included.
Oh no.
Okay. Now my question for you is this worth it?
No. That's already a deal breaker for me. The fact that the game doesn't come there. I'd rather do without maybe like the pin and whatever art thing that you mentioned. Like I'll take the helmet and the box
and the case.
And the case and the game. Yeah, sure, the letter. It's a piece of paper, like whatever. I'll frame it if anything. But like, why? No. I want to play the game. Why doesn't it come with the game?
I don't know. And the best part about it is that on the thing itself, the game itself isn't part of the Mass Effect Legendary Cache. But if you have it, you can display it in this premium metal game case.
Oh, well, now that you put it that way.
That's verbatim on the website. Jesus. And then the next sentence is, even if you don't, the art on the case still makes it well worth showing off.
BioWare, what are you doing?
Now, my thing is that it's like, for 150, you're still getting a lot, right?
Of course.
I don't mind that. But why couldn't they just make, and mind you, this is like the final edition. There is no like little bumped up thing to get you the game itself.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just make it like 180 or even fucking 200 to include the physical copy?
Yeah. If anything, honestly, not even a physical copy. Just give us a digital copy. I just want to play the game. Like, yeah, okay, fine. I don't. Yeah, like a key, like a piece of paper for the digital code. Like, I mean, I guess you don't get the opportunity to display it in a nice, beautiful metal box, but at least I get to play the actual game.
True. Now, with this kind of being one of the most recent pre-orders that I've seen, do you think that more companies are going to do this shit?
I'm a couple have already have, but I'm sorry, I don't have any that come to mind, but I know some of them have. I hope it's not a trend that catches on.
And if it is a trend that catches on, should it be 150 for all of this, or should it be lowered because there's no game in it?
Oh,
Or
I
should they
couldn't
just
say.
like increase the price a little bit to include said game? Because if chances are that had this thing been sold for like, I don't know, again 180 with the game or whatever, it would sell out like that.
Yeah,
Honestly speaking, even if it was $200, that shit I would still buy it in an instant.
yeah. There should definitely be, if the trend catches on, there should definitely be an option to pay an extra 40, $50. You know, maybe let's say technically you're saving $10 on the game, right? Pay 40, $50 extra, and you get the game on top of everything else. That should be an option, which is not in this case.
Oh, actually, I didn't think of that. That would be a good thing to do, where you
What?
could either buy it collectibles only or collectibles with game.
Yeah. Which some games already do that, but I think it's ridiculous that this game specifically only offers the collectibles with no game. And very rarely do you see that actually happen. I don't agree with it. I think this should always be an option, and if that kind of trend like catches on and stuff, I don't know what to think of society anymore.
Here's hoping it doesn't. But I was like, you know what? Let me bring this up next time, because I think I just saw this. What was it? Friday, Saturday?
Yeah,
Not too long ago.
the price itself, I can't argue with, because it all depends on what materials you're getting, what collectibles you're getting, all determines the price, because of course they also need to make a profit. So of course they're going to sell it for higher than usual. I get that part. That's the whole business part of things. So, but the idea of spending over $100 on collectibles without a game doesn't sit right with me.
No, because it's supposed to be carbon fiber for like the helmet, but it's just the texture that they're putting onto it.
But it's not real carbon fiber. Yeah, so I'm sure it's just plastic. And then what happens if you can't put that helmet on?
It says fits up to XL helmet size.
Oh, so what if you got a small head?
Then you got a big ass helmet to wear. I have a Mega Man helmet actually, and that shit's massive.
Yeah, that's another thing you have to consider is, will this thing, are you going to display it, or are you going to wear it? Are you going to cosplay it? Like, what are you going to do with this thing?
I mean, honestly, like even if you don't wear it, it's still like a nifty kind of thing to have, because it is the fucking helmet from Mass Effect.
Yeah, I would love something like that, honestly. Or even like a small model of the ship. Like that would be cool too. Yeah.
Definitely could have done without the art print though.
Yeah, I don't need art print. I don't need a pin. I don't need a letter of whatever that is.
Well, the pin's kind of cool because it has Paragon and Renegade on opposite sides, so you can just like spin it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
but also for me, I was never
think
really
that's
good with pins either. I'll lose that pin in like a month.
Just chuck it in a drawer. You're fine.
Oh yeah, see, exactly. That's where it belongs. You chuck it in a drawer. You don't even do anything with it.
I don't know. Everything is nice, but the lack of game, it hurts.
Yeah, it does. I don't. Yeah, that's a good question. I actually like that you brought that up.
Because, like you said, like I really hope this doesn't become an actual trend.
But anything to make a buck. Everyone, game industry out there, they're trying to figure out how to make money any way possible, because microtransactions are kind of being seen as the bad guy now. You know, a lot of countries out there are considering it as gambling, so they have to kind of find other ways. I know, I agree with it too. I definitely agree with it. It's a type of psychological drug that, you know, just gives you those endorphins of winning something.
Yeah. Because most games, what they do actually is that, like, because you started an account in it, they give you higher drop rates. So in like the first 3 things, it's like, oh, here you got like this almost legendary thing. Like, oh, you got epic loot. All right, awesome. So if you get like 4 pieces of epic loot and 1 legendary within 3 or 4 boxes, within your first 5 boxes, even, you're gonna be like, oh shit. What if I like pay $5 more?
Exactly. And then it turns into another 10, and then another 20, and then another 50. Oh man. And I am completely guilty of that myself, that because Destiny did it to me. Destiny has microtransactions up the ass.
Dude, I play League of Legends. Fucking that in of itself.
That's a microtransaction machine itself too.
It's okay. We all get there at some point.
It is what it is.
It's that one game that just like scratches that itch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our topic of the day. Wow, I blanked out.
Yeah.
Maybe that Jamaican rum is already hitting me. Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna start talking about our favorite levels, or just any levels that you know, kind of stood out for us, or any events that stood out to us in the game, in any video game. So Randy, you got your first one?
I provided the example last time. So
okay. So that's how it's gonna work. Oh, Onimusha, yeah.
Yeah. Which I should actually replay, all things considered.
You mentioned it was Onimusha 3, right?
Yeah, it's actually on Steam.
Ooh,
very cool.
I might actually jump on that. Okay.
Wait, I could think of something else. Let me just like go through my library here.
So is it like something specific? What event? Or what level, or what is it?
Just honestly anything. Okay, I guess a playable event. You know what I mean? Because some like generic events that are normally in like certain top 10 lists and shit like that. One prime example would be Aerith's death in Final Fantasy.
Not playable.
That one's not playable.
Right.
So, what playable event or what level? You know.
Okay, good, because I wrote down playable stuff anyway, so that kind of works out.
Perfect.
Well, yeah, but Onimusha is a good example of just the whole freaking game was epic. Like the music and everything that goes on, everything is kind of like fast paced from the beginning, because they're jumping back and forth between the 2 characters. So it was a lot of there's a lot of tension. I remember that game. And I really don't want to play it again.
There was a 3rd character too. Was there? Remember that one moment where you play as a girl? And you're armed with grenades and the... What gun did she have?
I cannot remember that.
You played as a blonde lady. When Jean Reno's character is in feudal Japan, and Momonosuke is just like kind of getting to Paris, the female soldier, you take control of her for like a small portion of it while looking for Jean Reno's son.
Oh no, not at all.
Dude, that part was annoying. But it was interesting because like the grenades hit for 1 million, but her gun, like, it was a pea shooter.
So I like how like blades and whips can kill these demons, but bullets can't.
Bullets can, just you need a lot of them, or just one well-tossed grenade. That's about it, man. Yeah, right. Anyways, go on.
For me, first playable event is God of War 3. So the whole God of War series, you know, it's violent as hell, and we've seen them kill many gods. But God of War 3, the Poseidon fight sticks out to me the most. Do you remember that one?
I didn't play the God of War series like that.
Oh Lord!
Just I think 1. I know 3 is on sale though. Yeah, 3 is like $10 on PlayStation Store. Man, dude, I was such a good buy it yesterday, but I was like, I'm playing Deadly Premonition, so should I?
It's such a good story. We'll get into that some other time, but the Poseidon fight is essentially the first fight in that game.
It's when you raid Olympus, isn't it?
Yeah, he's climbing Olympus with Gaia, and he kind of falls down because he's fighting Poseidon. And you fight Poseidon's like this giant monster thingy that he turns into when he goes into water. And that part was like epic, and there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of fighting going on and stuff. And he's like climbing through Gaia, like fighting on Gaia as Poseidon is attacking her. But what I love about it the most was how visceral he gets. He completely fucks up Poseidon, like towards the end of the actual brawl. And what the interesting part to me was you get to see Poseidon get his ass kicked, first person view of Poseidon.
Oh shit.
So you're watching through Poseidon's eyes as Kratos walks up to him and just beats him to a pulp. And that was really, really cool. Very well done.
It sounds nice.
What? It didn't look nice though. Like he got beat up.
Which one came out came out first. God of War 3 or Ascension?
Ascension, because that was a PSP game, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know
there was two prequels that they released before God of War 3, and I know one of them. Yeah, I know one of those prequels. I can't remember which one. It was the origins of his brother, like how his brother ended up in hell because the gods thought that his brother was the chosen one to kill everyone in Olympus, and obviously they were wrong. So they imprisoned him.
Wait. Ascension was for the PlayStation 3?
Was it?
Apparently.
Okay, so Chains of Olympus was PSP then.
Chains of Olympus was PSP. What, Ghost of Sparta? What the fuck is this one?
Ghost of Sparta was PSP as well then.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghost of Sparta and Chains of Olympus are PSP. Because I know Ascension has some first-person parts too.
Okay, so Ascension must have been the one that was a prequel to God of War 1.
Yeah.
Where he got his Blades of Chaos.
That too.
Yeah.
Because I know that's where you fight the Fates.
Yes. Wait, yeah? Huh?
The Fates or the...
Oh, man.
No, the Furies. That's what I meant.
The Furies, yes. Yes, it was the Furies.
Sorry, it just starts with F, ends with S.
Yeah, it's a lot of... The story's a mess, but... Because it's out of order. But it's still a good story.
Sir, I play Kingdom Hearts. You want to talk about Out of Order?
Oh God, yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
For me, I'd say in Deus Ex Human Revolution. Have you played that one?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so you know the excuse me? It was okay. It was okay.
It was okay. It was kind of short.
But it was very replayable.
Sure.
But I played this back in 2013. Apparently I have like fucking 26 hours in this. I didn't know that. But what was it? It was the boss fight with the guy that was essentially all muscle. That if you had the implant, because like your shit was fucking up, if you decided to get like a replacement for the chip, your entire, like all of your skills were just inactive.
So you fought him with nothing?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because it's like, your HUD is messing up. Do you want to go back to base and like get this implant and then you'll be totally fine? You can either say yes or no. If you do go for it, then, you know, your HUD goes back to normal. You play the game just totally fine. Mm-hmm. But once you get to that fight, fucking boss lady, she's like, hey, remember that implant? Yeah, fuck you. And she like short circuits you. So the entire time your map doesn't work. You don't see what your health is. You can't use any of your fucking skills or whatever. So you have to like run around and kite the fucker the entire time.
Well, that's interesting.
And you will never see a mechanic like that ever again in the game.
Yeah, things like that they could take into account, like with those type of those games where choice matters.
Because that choice definitely mattered.
I think that's why I didn't like the game mostly, because I didn't feel like there was much choice. Now that you mentioned that, though, maybe I missed out on some things.
They were there was choice that mattered because what is it? For the first mission, there's hostages that are being held in this one room, and you know how you have to defuse a bomb, right? You don't remember, dude?
Not really.
Okay, so first mission, it's a hostage situation. You defuse a bomb with a code, whatever. You do it, everyone's safe, that's fine. But if you decide to dick around in the hub before you go to the mission, you could actually time that mission out and everyone gets executed.
Oh, so there's no timer, but realistically, time ran out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So you get to the helicopter and you're like, Jensen, what's wrong with you? Like, everyone's dead now because you decided to wait. And you're like, oh, I didn't realize that I actually, like, the game was in real time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's interesting too.
The game is not just okay.
Okay, well, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, you have to explain these things to me to make me realize the things that I missed out on. Like, the game doesn't really like portray that well.
Well, I mean, yeah, but also if I understand that, but I think if a game has to, like, kind of, I enjoy little hidden things in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like an actual real world clock that's going on. Like, if it tells you that, like, okay, so you could save beforehand. Obviously, you could save in any fucking game.
Yeah.
But with, like, finding that out, I think it's enough incentive to kind of be like, hey, dude, don't just dick around. What is it? I know that David Cage, he does this shit with Detroit Become Human. In the demo.
You mean like timing wise?
Yeah, because when you play as Connor, is it? The robot?
The detective robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're talking the guy off from the roof, if you decide to kind of just, like, waste time and read, like, all the world lore in the apartment, he ends up slowly picking off the police officers that are there.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I went through that section pretty quick.
Well, I mean, most people kind of did, but, like, when you figure these things out, it's like you realize that there's a lot of room for error. Even if there is a lot of room, there's still a lot of room for error. So again, with a real world clock running and you don't figure it out until something happens, you could always reload it. But then once you have that kind of reload state, your mind is going to have that mindset of, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't just stand around here.
Yeah. That's an iffy thing. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting for a game like that. Kind of makes sense to me. A game like Deus Ex is a little different because, like, the game it's meant for you to explore. It's meant for you to kind of get sidetracked, kind of like Elder Scrolls. Like, imagine an Elder Scrolls where you're timed on everything. That kind of, like, defeats the purpose of the exploration aspect of things.
I don't think that you're timed when it comes to, like, the actual free roam parts, because that first mission, it does start even before the first mission does technically start.
But you're saying, like, once the mission starts, though, then you should be focused on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think, I'm telling you right now, I don't think I'll ever try to replay it again, but that is really a lot more interesting than I thought it would be.
Well, little details.
Yeah. No, I appreciate those things. Yeah.
You appreciate them until you don't, and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
The worst is when some shit like that happens and you haven't saved in a while, and you're like, do I want to bite this bullet?
Like, go through it again?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on. My second game I have is Half-Life 2, PC game. The section of Ravenholm. Have you played Half-Life 2?
I just played the first.
The first one?
Ravenholm is the headcrabs, no? The really there's settling part.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it. Actually, it was a very different setting from the rest of, or most of, Half-Life. Was either very sci-fi-ish or very indoors, or a mix of both, or how you would say. But Ravenholm, that it was like almost playing a horror game. Because it was very dark, it was very, like, abandoned, there was, like, a wreck of everything, and you really had to focus on a lot of, like, environmental, like, using the environment for weapons. So with the gravity guns, you'd take a lot of, like, buzzsaws everywhere, or just wooden planks, or a lot of barrels and stuff like that. There was just stuff everywhere that you could use as a weapon. And like you said, there's headcrabs everywhere, there's zombies everywhere, and you're fighting through it like it's some zombie shooter. So it was actually a lot of fun. It was a different take on like the rest of Half-Life, which was pretty cool.
Spooky.
Yeah, I liked it. That sticks out to me.
Yeah, like that's one of those that I know about, but I didn't experience personally because I played one.
You should play that then.
Fucking, do I have it on Steam? I'll tell you right now. I have Half-Life 2 on Steam.
There you go. No excuse. Don't even have to pay for it.
Oh no! Suddenly I have to walk my cat.
No.
I guess this was kind of fucking generic. The ending to Reach.
Oh, that was pretty cool. I really like that ending. Actually, it was very sad, I guess, for lack of a better word. Like, it's just
it was hopeless.
Yeah, that's a better word for it.
'Cause you knew everyone was gonna fucking die from the beginning.
Yeah, especially if you knew the whole Master Chief lore. Like, you knew, he's pretty much the last Spartan, so you know what was going to happen at the end.
Have you read the book, Fall of Reach?
I have not. I've never read any of the books.
Oh, really?
No.
Dude, Fall of Reach came out 2001.
God, I'm old.
I was 4 when that fucking thing came out.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but I read it at like 7, 8 or so.
I was like 16, 17 years. Oh, 17, 18 years old.
You know one.
Jeez. Nah, you just got me super depressed. Oh, man.
You're 2001. Not old. It's okay.
Yeah, but that was a good one though. That was a pretty good ending. I felt that hit me like toward when everything was pretty much ending. And it was just wave after wave of enemies and just pretty much the whole. What was it like? What was it like? The Covenant was glassing the place, was it?
I think so. I don't remember like the story. I just remember that actual part, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, like it was just a constant battle. But I think the planet was being glassed by the Covenant, so it's just essentially being destroyed, and they didn't survive, obviously. So, weird question, side question. Isn't Halo Infinite involving Master Chief? Because I could have sworn they talked about customizing your own Spartan. And if that's the case, then does that mean Spartans are back? Like, more Spartans are back?
I honestly have no idea, like, in regards to the story after 3.
Yeah.
Because I didn't play anything, like, after that. Like, I played Odyssey and Reach, but that was about it. But apparently it says the 6th main entry of the Halo series and the 14th Halo game overall. Jesus Christ. It picks up the story of Master Chief following Halo 5 Guardians. So it's still Master Chief.
Oh, okay, it's still Master Chief. Okay. Yeah. I could have sworn they're talking about custom. I mean, maybe you customize just Master Chief, but I thought they were talking about other Spartans.
Maybe just to give it like a unique feel. Because I mean, the customization was pretty fucking neat in the other games. Because it was for online mainly that you were able to do that, right?
Yeah, online. Okay, well, so my last one is a Nintendo game. I try to be a little bit more diverse because I always tend to stick to a lot of PlayStation stuff.
So how about that Destiny?
Destiny, yeah. I try to stay away from Destiny too because I mentioned that enough already.
And I'm trying to stay away from Kingdom Hearts because I've mentioned that enough.
Don't. You mention it in every episode too.
Sir, I'm saying I'm trying right now.
yeah. But Mario Odyssey, New Donk City. Have you played Mario Odyssey?
No, but isn't that where like everyone is normal except for Mario?
Yeah. Everyone is like, they look like normal human beings, and Mario's the only oddball little guy with a big, huge head. And it plays a lot like New York City, which is our city.
What?
So and then of course I love the play in words with New Donk City, like it's Donkey Kong City, but it's New York City. So I like the whole thing.
The original girl from Donkey Kong, no?
I believe so. I think that's right. Pretty sure that's right. But I love the layout of the city. Like, you can jump in the sewers, you can jump in like the alleyways, you can climb the buildings. So you can kind of explore like from top to bottom and just everywhere in between. It was a fun, interesting take on the Mario world to play like a real world level.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand completely.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. What the fuck was my last one? Oh wait, no, I remember. Okay.
I was gonna say shame on you for not being prepared.
No, I remember this one maybe because like it's okay. So in Final Fantasy X,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know the part where Kamari gets like approached by his two brothers, and it's kind of like revealed that he was like the outcast and he was exiled, and it's like he's a run of the fucking group. So his horn was filed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his two brothers have their horns fully sharp, with the exception of Kamari.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, the whole shame thing. So you have to fight them. Now that part stood out to me, not just because like the whole emotional value or whatever, but mainly because of a really weird fucking moment with that part in particular.
Okay.
So growing up, most of the time, like I didn't have patience for RPGs and shit like that. So for Final Fantasy X, like I played it, but I never finished it. I watched my brother finish it.
Oh, okay.
That's totally fine. Because again, like the whole 9-year gap, it's like, hey, big bro, you should do this. So, one day he was playing and I was watching him and I fell asleep. So in the midst of me falling asleep, I had a dream. And because for the past fucking like 3 weeks, he's been playing nothing but Final Fantasy X, in that dream, I had a Final Fantasy dream. But the thing is that it was that exact encounter of Kamari, his brothers, and like Tidus behind him and like the whole conversation, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing is that Kamari wasn't Kamari. It was Bruce Willis.
Okay, so it's Bruce Willis as Bruce Willis?
It was Bruce Willis as Kamari Ronso.
No, okay. So you...
but it was the model itself was Bruce Willis. But
Yeah,
he was
that's what I meant.
lines. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So then, what is it? A few days pass, and then my brother continues playing Final Fantasy X, and what happens but that exact scene that I dreamt of, except with Kamari.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I know how this is going on. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I dreamt this. So as I'm like reciting it to him, he's like, what the fuck are you going on about?
Yeah, and this is when Bruce Willis comes out.
Yeah, of course. No, but it was like scene for scene, just normal this time, not with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, not with Bruce Willis. Yeah,
and mind you, he didn't get up to that part yet. So how I ended up predicting this shit, I don't know.
That's weird. A little deja vu thing going.
Shit was creepy. But yeah, that's more like a kind of personal why that scene stands out to me.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Bruce Willis in Final Fantasy.
Bruce Willis did have his own game.
Did he?
I think it was Apocalypse Now. They used his character model.
Oh my fucking god, yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit, for the PS1, wasn't it?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. Probably, I guess. Either one or two.
Yeah, PlayStation 1. It was Apocalypse. And I think they had one of the best like muzzle flashes that I've ever experienced. No. Die Hard. The Die Hard video games were the good ones.
Oh, I love those, yeah.
This one just had a flamethrower.
Oh, I really want to play Die Hard for PC now.
You should do it. Oh my god, I remember this. I remember the fucking demo for it.
Speaking of PC games, when are we going to stream? So I'm changing up my schedule. So I'm looking into streaming on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
We could stream right now.
Well, sorry, no. Let me scratch that. Mondays and Wednesdays, because Tuesdays I'll be playing with Danny, and that's like iffy if I'll be streaming or not with him.
We could stream right now.
Oh, you want to do that?
I'm down for it.
Fuck yeah. We're ending this episode now.
Right. Hold on. Wait. We got to say bye.
Oh, no, of course. We're not just going to leave them hanging, but yeah, we're going to say bye. And
I'll leave them with a question, actually.
Yeah. Well, so what's next week's question?
Okay. So what demo have you played, but never actually like played the actual game for, but that you actually like enjoyed?
Dude, I really like your questions. Okay.
Because remember PlayStation Underground? How like they had those discs that had like all these fucking games, but you knew for a fact you were never going to have like almost any of them, if not one or two.
We talked about it before. We talked about that whole that specific underground disc that erased everybody's memory cards.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good topic. That's a good one. Okay.
Apocalypse, I remember that fucking demo. Then there was another one of like this fucking ninja that was I think it was on a Tomb Raider disc that the demo came included on.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Mark of Kree? I remember that was a demo. But he wasn't a ninja though.
Let me look it up. I think it was literally called Ninja. Ninja Shadow of Darkness. That was the demo.
That does not ring a bell at all.
Look it up. It rings a bell for me because I'm looking at it and it's a purple fucking ninja. And I remember these giant
Shadow of Darkness?
Yeah. But there's
the cover looks familiar.
Right?
But yeah, let's not get into the topic now because then we're gonna run out of stuff to talk about.
Dude, I have like so many demos to talk about.
I'm gonna look some up because my memory is not what it used to be. So, but yeah,
I can't wait till I get there.
Yeah, please wait. Take your time.
I know, I'm kidding.
But we'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys. And no shout outs this week, mostly because I kind of fell behind on the recording of the podcast itself, but we'll be catching up on it. I'll mention the topic this week that, Randy just mentioned right now, what the question will be. I'll post it up on TikTok. Anybody want to comment on it, and I'll give you a shout out for next week. So I guess that's it. I'll leave you guys then.
Wait, just to make sure though. We're not limiting it to any console. So not just PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2.
Oh, yeah.
A fucking PS3 game, an Xbox 360
PC game.
Even that. Just any demo. Recent or old. Doesn't matter.
See you later. I guess we're going to head on streaming now.
Hell yeah.
Subscribe to our Twitch. Bye.
See ya.